It's Wednesday night. We're talking Batman. Yo, yo, yo. It's What the Show. And we do not have two of our regular co-hosts with us tonight so far. Bethany and Mike. Mike is coming home from work, and Bethany is living in the same place, but unavailable. But we're here. We're talking Batman. And I am joined by one of my regular co-hosts, Mr. Justin the Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
What's going on? I'm in a Batman mood. I'm ready to go. I'm down to do a little Cape Crusading, if you know what I mean. You know?
I don't.
Let's do it. All right. Well,
okay. But
a little bam pow, a little
nice.
A little
nice.
I'm ready.
Nice. Well, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into anything from Long Halloween to other Long Halloweens with Burt Ward's legendary genitals. But
the dynamic duo.
That was also part of Burt Ward's legendary genitals.
Wow.
But before we dive into that, we have Mr. Matt Thomas from another What Show. What's up, Matt?
How you been,
and
AJ?
Tell us?
Batman has been my superhero since I was a kid. Honestly, surprisingly, I tend to skew more towards Robin and Nightwing than Batman, which is hilarious because not a lot of people do.
Because of Burt Ward's legendary general?
I'm a child of the 90s, so I'm a Bruce Timm kid.
Okay.
So we actually have, back when the WB store was a thing, down in our family room, we have some of the artwork from those shows. Like we have this moving picture artwork that's made from cells of the show. We have an actual cell from the show that's Nightwing. We have this Bat family portrait. So yeah, I grew up around, and I actually have a Robin costume that I would have put on if it were say winter, that I made as a cosplay, but it's summer and it's hot and I don't need to be sweating.
I get that. For sure. And we have another esteemed guest who I think is as much or more of a Batman nut. And we're going to see. We're just going to swing our Burt Wards all over the place on this one. Mr. David Michael France. How are you doing, Francie?
Hey, thanks so much for having me back, AJ. Juice, good to see you again. Matt, pleasure. Yeah, it's Batman is wonderful. I grew up with Adam West, Kevin Conroy, and Michael Keaton, and I loved them. And there's just so much to do with the character and all the transformations that he's gone through over the decades. Just an absolutely wonderful character. Everyone connects with Batman. He's just absolutely iconic. And I love talking about Batman. I got, some original Tim Sale artwork of Batman and Robin, running off to fight some crime or whatever. I don't know where it is. I just moved into a new place, so I haven't found all my stuff from the move yet. But I do love Batman, so I apologize for the kind of the sparse background.
I see the Batman 89 right behind you. What's going on there?
Yeah, actually, let me go ahead and grab that real quick. I can sort of show it off. It's actually this is an action figure. And it is based off of the Sunsoft NES game.
Oh,
whoa!
So you can kind of see here the one of the little screenshots of the game with like the 8-bit rendition of the scene from the movie. You get Batman here with his health bar, and he looks super NES. He'd like NES Jason or something like that. Dude, and this is a gift from a very dear friend of mine, and I love it. It makes me happy all day.
That's so cool.
NECA toys are always great. This is the only Batman thing I have over here. So
I don't own any special Batman merch, so seeing other people's always always makes me like excited. So why Batman, guys? Both of you, like, geez, like what makes you love Batman?
I can get us started here. So I grew up with the '90s animated show. Lots of that was playing in my house. So I love that. The theme. So it wasn't until really later that I actually watched the movies. I'd seen Batman Begins, pretty much when it came out, and Dark Knight. But I never went back, and I'd seen Batman and Robin, which we might talk about later.
Oh God!
Funny enough,
it's my favorite.
And
can I get Taylor Cleek on screen? He'll love to talk about that.
Yeah, send him the link, man.
Okay,
legit. I will talk Batman and Robin with Taylor Cleek anytime.
But yeah. So like, then a little later on, I played a little Arkham. I'm not like a massive Arkham fan. I had a friend give me that poster. And then watching like the Dark Knight movies and going back and watching all of the Keatons. And then actually tonight, right before this, I watched Batman 1966 for the first time. I've owned it on Blu-ray for about 2 years, for probably 3 years. And I just finally was like, I need to watch this.
Oh, hey. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah. So that was awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just always liked I'm not a big DC fan. So I like Superman, but I just like the realness to Batman, the grittiness, the fact he's actually just a human that is just like basically the ultimate human that took complete control over his body, basically turned himself into a ninja, and then of course was obviously blessed with wealth. But yeah, it's just so cool because like, yeah, there's just a relatability you have to the human side of a superhero that you don't get in anyone that just has natural superpowers.
Oh, absolutely.
You hit it on the head.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, it's like someone like the Flash. Like, you don't want to be the Flash. You want to be friends with him because he's very fun and charismatic. But like, you want to be Batman. You know what I mean?
No, you don't.
I want to tell.
Sorry. Keep going, man. I'll save my thing for the end of the round.
Well, I mean, I think Juice is right. You know, Batman's super, super relatable. The Chris Nolan interpretation of Batman leans more towards what Frank Miller did with him in the 80s, which was kind of like the big revival of Batman, like making him dark again. And like his whole perspective was that Bruce Wayne effectively doesn't exist and that there's like just Batman and Bruce Wayne's kind of a facade. Totally valid interpretation of the character, but that's not the one that I really latch onto. I really like, the Keaton Batman and the animated series, you know, Kevin Conroy, where Bruce Wayne is very much a real person. And I think like one of the reasons that I like Batman so much is that he's like this manifestation of that kind of dichotomy that we all have, you know, where sort of like, you know, we're all kind of Bruce Wayne sometimes, where we're just living our lives and just being a normal person. But like, there's kind of a monster inside all of us, you know, and every now and then it needs to be let out. And I love that Batman like does that like literally, whereas like we, you know, like us normal folk, we do that figuratively, you know, like every now and then we just have bad days, or, you know, like we go hit the gym or something like that. And I just love the idea that of taking it to like that super extreme, you know, where it's like you got to let the monster out. And it's also a great example of kind of a classic type of hero that you see in stories going as far back as stories exist, you know, where the hero of the story is also kind of a monster, but a very controlled monster.
It's an exaggeration of Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, kind of. And it's a more controlled version of that too, where it's like, you know, with Mr. Hyde was like, you know, he was completely unencumbered and he was completely unchained and he had zero inhibitions, whereas Batman does, you know, he's got lines that he doesn't cross, and he focuses his anger towards very specific causes and against very specific enemies and problems. And that's one of the great things about him. That's what makes him a hero, is that he takes that anger and he tries to use it to do some good.
Yeah. Well, Matt unavailable. But my thing that I love about Batman is it's kind of a polar opposite in a way. Like polar because it's related, but opposite because Batman is a maniac. He's absolutely, I mean, the internal monologue, Bruce doesn't call himself Bruce. Bruce calls himself Batman. He's so absorbed and so turmoiled, and sometimes that allows for darkness, for dark, gritty storytelling, but sometimes it's like, oh my god, look what this fucking crazy person is doing.
Yeah, it's over the top.
It's one of those things where really dark, gritty Batman moments are just like, when you think about it, like, this guy's just really nuts. He needs anything except for being a superhero. And that works both in a serious way and in a way that's just so fucking comedically timed in film. Film especially, but comic books, I think the visual story medium plays it a little bit more straight, but we've seen it so well in media, visual media, even animated. I don't know. It's a wild character. So we're gonna dive deeper into Batman. We're gonna talk more stuff, but I'm going to pin the Streamlabs link in the chat in just a second here. It's streamlabs.com/whattheshow/tip. The July charity, we are going to be benefiting the Battle Buddy Foundation. The Battle Buddy Foundation is an organization that helps find therapy and service dogs for veterans. So it's July. We just got done, for a lot of us, blowing a lot of shit up, celebrating patriotism. There are a lot of people who served our country who are suffering from mental or physical disabilities due to their service, and that's what Battle Buddies does, is partners them with service animals. So we're going to try and do what we can for a little bit of extra patriotism for people who served our country, and partnering them with awesome service animals this month. So so Batman, guys,
Okay.
Just nice segue.
Yeah. So Batman, guys.
Here, rip the Band-Aid off right now. Who's everyone's favorite Batman?
Keaton.
I mean, Keaton's a great answer.
Oh, I'll go controversial. I'm gonna say Ben Affleck.
Choose something with you.
It's three Afflecks and one Keaton, and
just out of like, I feel like
it's
like not, his movies aren't that great, but like just
he embodies the character so well.
Yeah, he's got the pathos for sure.
Yeah,
in both aspects, he nails the Bruce Wayne side of things, and he nails the Batman.
Yeah.
I know you brought up Christian Bale's Batman is more based off of the Frank Miller stuff, and that's somewhat true. But when I think Batman now, the first
thing it gets less
pops,
true as the movies go on.
Yeah, exactly. But when I think Batman, I just automatically pop the Ben Affleck and Dawn of Justice just pops into my brain, because that was the living embodiment of what Batman was to me.
Well, and like for me, it's the minor touches. I think that the whole thing with that we always hear, that Batman is the person and Bruce Wayne is the costume. I think that Affleck did that more subtle and more effectively than we've ever seen on screen.
Absolutely.
He was a shell of himself unless he was doing hero moments, unless he his Batman side took over. And there's even moments that seem like if Kevin Conroy's Batman was asked by Barry Allen, "What's your superpower?" and he said, "I'm rich." Like, it works. It works in the full spectrum of who he was as a Batman.
Yeah. No,
and he's just ripped.
right.
Yeah.
Unless he's puffy face and like he's obviously down some Jack Daniels and some fucking Jack in the Box.
Oh no! You're
That 5 o'clock shadow was like
hold
perfect.
on. Well, let's give him some props for how healthy he looked in that reshot scene at the end of the Snyder cut.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's clearly lost some weight, but damn, he looks fucking healthy.
Well, and he looks like Batman himself, having healed after that conflict, which is really effective. Actually, it's like accidentally.
yeah, that's a good point.
Like him in the Snyder cut, I'm not gonna lie, I never bought Justice League. I am buying the Snyder cut. The Snyder cut, realistically, outside that last 15 to 30 minutes, good movie. If it was a 3-hour movie, it probably would be arguably a perfect film.
Yeah,
sorry,
they really could have cut it down.
I love the epilogue. I fucking love the epilogue.
So here's my issues with the epilogue.
Oh, wait. Lego wins. Best on-screen Batman, John Wick. Fuck yeah, Lego. I salute you.
John Wick supports service dogs.
Yes.
John Wick definitely supports service dogs. I need to actually get into the chat here.
But no, something about how you could just see the difference in the character based off of Whedon's rewrites and how we got him in the Snyder cut. And the reason I don't like that nightmare sequence, because that was just Zack Snyder masturbating, saying, "Here's what you could have gotten if they had just let me finish everything I wanted to do. This isn't needed." Fuck it. I didn't see it.
I get it. But for me, it felt kind of like you're never gonna get it. So this is where I was going.
But that's the thing. He knew we're never gonna get it. It was to literally just piss off fans. It was make, as much as Zack Snyder likes to say, I don't appreciate what my fans do. He's like, no, or the times he's like, no, they're not toxic at all. He fans the flames just a little bit, subtle, and he knows he's doing it, and he tries to act like it isn't. That's my issues with it.
He also called out geeks and gamers hardcore.
Yes, he did. I will give him props for that.
Yeah, so it's like there's an interesting kind of dichotomy. I think that is Zack Snyder maybe actually just Batman?
No,
do you think he's just out there
asshole, but not Batman?
Full of himself and just an absolute maniac, and
in
does
that regard,
a little bit of vigilante justice.
In that regard, maybe, because this is a guy who got told no to a Star Wars movie and reworked it and is now going to be filming it at Netflix.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't know about this?
Yeah.
Before Disney bought Lucasfilm, he went to Lucasfilm and pitched a Star Wars movie. They said no. So he spent the last 8 or 9 years retooling this script. And now it's a sci-fi adventure based off of Akira Kurosawa films and Star Wars. And it, as of yesterday, is now going to be produced and made for Netflix.
Oh, this is
interesting.
Watch it. I don't.
But basically, in your head, if you know the background, you're like, this is just the Star Wars movie that you just got mad that you got told no to, and now you're making it.
Okay, Danny brings up something though. Snyder's pretty ripped himself.
That is true.
Yeah, he could actually be Batman-ish.
No, Listrino, we ain't messing with magnets.
How are they made?
How do they work?
Yeah. Not in a Juggalo way, in a Jesse Pinkman way. But kind of maybe both. Is Jesse Pinkman in Juggalo? What are your thoughts on Batman?
So
Let us know in the Streamlabs.
So here,
Yes.
I will give you a little bit of behind the scenes on some of the plans for what we're doing at Watt post the hiatus, the 2 current hiatuses going on. And we're going to finally be doing something we've wanted to do, which is we're going to start table reads of unproduced scripts, and we're going to try to do like one a month and bring other people from the space in them.
Can I do that?
Yeah. So one of the things we're doing is the unproduced 5th film in the original Batman franchise, Batman Dark Knight by Lee Shapiro and Stephen Wise. And this has Man-Bat in it. It has Scarecrow, and there's one other villain, I think. But here, a hero in retirement, a partner without a partner without peer, a monster or a man, a villain whose weapon is fear. There's nothing to fear but fear himself. Batman Dark Knight, or as we call it, Real Entertainment, Dark Knight, because for some reason the K is capitalized. Is the superhero thriller.
It's capitalized because it's the beginning of the word.
No, because look, it's just one word.
Oh, the Dark Knight.
Oh, Dark Knight.
It's a little extra
Dark Knight.
capital.
Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Dark Knight. I think it's just Russian or something.
Batman Crystal Knocked. What?
Right.
Well, this channel, we just got done with everything on this channel. I'm sorry for saying that. Oops.
But no. This thriller follows the Dark Knight detective and his young ward as they confront their fears to unravel the diabolical plans of their phobia foe, the Scarecrow, and the unintended consequence of his revenge, Man-Bat, before they plunge Gotham into a nightmare from which it may never awaken. Featured in the Hollywood Reporter, this story also made the IFC list of best unproduced Batman scripts.
Okay.
Cool.
No. That it's.
By the way, you can buy this on Amazon. You can buy this script on Amazon, and it's only like $7 or something like that.
Okay. I've heard of it, and I thought it was mostly a jokey thing, but the fact that it might be good.
And there's
Man-Bat.
There's a small forward in here, and they actually part of the reason we got Scarecrow and Batman.
Small forward like Scottie Pippen, or
no, like just like telling you the story and history behind this. So part of the reason we got Scarecrow in Batman Begins is they took him from this script.
Interesting.
wow.
So it
was used really well.
Yeah, I mean, we're breaking it into we've started breaking it into parts. Part of it's on pause because Taylor is the one who's been pushing this one to be the first one, and he's going to be doing. And by the way, Nicolas Cage was supposed to be Scarecrow in this.
Ooh, that's a great Scarecrow.
So
Yeah.
Taylor was like, I'm putting it on myself to be the Nicolas Cage Scarecrow. I'm like, we're ready to have fun with it, but because of all the things going on in everyone's life, it's been on the back burner for a little bit. But
no, there are very few things that you could say to me about somebody in this space that would worry me. And Taylor Cleek preparing himself to be Nicolas Cage's Scarecrow worries me.
Why is that?
That could actually overcome him and become his personality.
You're not. There's for
anybody in the chat who's unfamiliar, Taylor Cleek is the manager of
the Rager
of Rick the Rager Radis in the Schmodown. Daddy-O. Holy shit.
But yeah, there's footage of Taylor. What's the word I'm looking for? Him from a college project being a Nick Cage inspired character called Rick Rage.
Oh wow. We will share a screen if you can find it.
Oh, I could pull that up, no problem.
Wow.
But yeah, I know this took a little tangent, but it's still somewhat tied in. But yeah, so we're all excited to get into this. I've been really excited to dive into this. I've been trying to hold off reading it because I want the first time I read it to be when we do it.
Kind of like authentic and
exactly. So like when I hear some of this stuff, just be like, wait, what? So, but yeah.
It's cool stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring somebody in, another person in while we're waiting for Mike as well. But in the meantime, so Batman movies, and I'm gonna make this a little bit harder and say no Jokers, no Jokers. Who's your favorite non-Batman or Joker performance in a Batman movie?
Oh, Ooh.
I mean, there's one that pops to mind right away, but I don't know if it's my favorite. I'd have to think about it.
Who's that?
Do the animated films count?
Anime can work. Yeah.
Jensen Ackles is Red Hood.
Okay, that's a choice. Okay, what about wide release? Wide release theatrical.
Man, I gotta go with Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
That's
She was amazing.
It's her, Jim Carrey as Riddler. That would be what I'd.
I'm leaning Halle Berry as Catwoman.
Sure you are.
No, I was just thinking like, man, Lee Merriweather just was an awesome Catwoman in the Batman 1966. Much better than Halle Berry because I also just watched that movie like a few days ago. So
Okay.
Let's see. I'd maybe go. Maybe someone.
I'm getting some Jim Carrey Riddler here.
Yeah.
Will McLean asks people's excitement for Pattinson.
Oh yeah, I think he has the potential to be the best
Yeah.
Batman we ever have. Like when people are like, "Oh, it's the guy from Twilight," I'm like, "No, it's the guy who's done all of these amazing independent films that you need to."
Yeah, have you ever seen The Lighthouse?
The Lighthouse.
He knows how to act.
The Lighthouse hadn't even come out yet. I was like, "Have you ever seen Good Time?"
Good time.
Yeah, Good Time's
Yeah,
great.
like
He was the best part of Tenet. You know, like he's a great actor.
he was the only good
In
part of
Tenet.
Tenet.
Yeah.
I disagree there, but I love Tenet.
Tenet is.
I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard of that movie.
It's a really shitty. It's this really shitty James Bond fan film where they tried to make like time travel a thing. It's like you can watch it backwards.
I haven't heard of Tenet.
It's cool.
I
Yeah,
haven't.
Paul Dano Riddler excitement. I'm
Yes.
stoked for that. Oh, Matt Munoz is in the chat too. But yeah, Tenet it's a feature length film, and I'm done saying positive things about it, except for fucking Robert Pattinson as a great Bond villain in a movie that Christopher Nolan couldn't get made.
He's not a Bond villain.
Yeah, he's not a villain in that movie.
Ish.
No, he's not. If anything, so real theory from that film, he's the adult version of that kid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it makes him kind of like a comic book-y, and he's an antagonist to the plot.
I would disagree, but whatever. Let's move on. Batman. Let's get back to these favorite roles because Juice still hasn't said his.
I'm still.
Here, you want to give him more time to think? I got that video.
You got it?
I'll have it.
All right. I'll share your screen. Just a sec.
Oh, I already did. It's waiting. It's sitting down there waiting. There we go.
All right.
Humanity. Where do we come from? What is our purpose? Is the world secretly ran by an ancient spacefaring race of serpent people? These are the questions that plague us. And tonight, on part 1 of our 100-episode expose, we seek to answer them. I'm Rickless Rage. This is Beneath the Scales.
Rickless Rage.
Oh my god. That's amazing. And also, I never realized that Taylor was actually the guy from John Dies at the End.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Taylor's got two actors he's obsessed with. One is Jeff Goldblum, the other is Nick Cage. So
Nice. Yeah. So where are we at on?
we're waiting on Juice's answer.
If do you have one yet, or can I go?
You can go. If I'll keep. No, never mind.
Arnold
I saw
Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze is one of the greatest roles in cinematic history, if not even just Batman.
I gotta get some.
Oh my god. Nobody had more fun playing any role. Any role.
Jim Carrey.
Nobody had
arguably.
more fun.
Jim Carrey arguably did.
No, dude.
Well, Jim Carrey wasn't covered in makeup. Like that couldn't have been fun.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones was trying to one-up Jim Carrey. They were in a constant struggle against each other. That's a whole thing. But Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up to have fun making a fucking movie. Like, he's there, he's smoking cigars, he's making ice puns. He doesn't even give a fuck in so many ways. Like, the whole story with him. Like, they try to make it sad at one point with Mr. Freeze. You know, Nora, she has this illness, and he froze her to try to get the cure, and he doesn't give a fuck that she's frozen most of that movie. He's like, how can I make ice puns? How can I make people sing along with my fucking Christmas carols? And I want to smoke some cigars. Do you guys know the story about the cigars with Batman and Robin?
No.
No.
So the cigars that he smokes, they were hand delivered to him by a friend on set, and then Schwarzenegger took them to the prop department so they could be dyed to the silver, like the silver blue, so we could smoke cigars in character on screen. Does anybody know who that friend was?
Oh, no.
No? John Bon Jovi.
No kidding. That's awesome.
John Bon Jovi hand-delivered cigars to Arnold Schwarzenegger on the set.
I hope he was singing when he showed up with those cigars. You just imagine him singing to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I got you cigars.
Like,
oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it's fucking amazing. And just all of it. He is so absorbed into the role, but so oblivious to the movie at the same time. It's a great performance.
It was definitely entertaining. He was definitely trying to have as much fun as he could under the circumstances. Because again, sitting in that makeup chair, that must have been pretty awful.
But nobody wanted to be there more than Schwarzenegger.
I mean, I don't think he had to be in the makeup chair as much as other people, because realistically, he just did up to like his forearm and probably to like right here on his chest, because we never really see more than just his face and his hands being
right.
frozen.
It wasn't like full body or anything,
Yeah.
but it's still, when they're doing your face, like you have to sit there motionless for at least an hour, and it's not a whole lot of fun. You show up earlier, you're sitting there longer, and it takes a decent amount of discipline to be able to do that.
There's probably this story that we don't want to know where he made the makeup artist do the taint.
Yo,
Like,
I wanted to know.
we don't want to know that.
I've always wanted to know how much of a pain it was to make him look sparkly on top of it. Not just blue, but blue and sparkly.
You've never worn body glitter. You know who has worn body glitter? Our next guest, Mr. Danny Martinez.
Heyo.
Let me
going
show
on?
off the backdrop. Danny, it's great to see you, man. I am
What's going on, AJ?
so sorry for this shit show that you are jumping into.
What do you mean? I feel like I asked for this.
I was like, Batman, sign me
Yeah, no,
up.
literally, I think you and I are in the same boat. I saw Batman, I'm like, huh? You're
I
doing
saw the
Batman?
thumbnail and I hit up AJ like, dude, just so you know, I'm deep into Batman.
Yeah. So, so thoughts so far about like, do you have favorite Batman roles or?
So first, let me address the body glitter. That was a one-time event, but it's so hard to get
so
off.
far.
Yeah, so far, I guess. You know what? Now that things are reopening, maybe it's time for me to go back outside and get some more. But
Quick tip: dish soap.
To get it off or put it on?
Get it off.
Okay, just check it.
Dish soap will always help you get it off.
As far as I love all Batmans, but like you guys mentioned earlier, Batfleck, like the dude just, especially the Bruce Wayne piece of it, like Affleck just, it's almost like that dude just embodies the Bruce, which I really appreciate.
Well, sorry, I started to cut you off there. Please.
No, go ahead.
Batfleck works for me for Bruce because he's a hollow shell of a man of like, you can tell his entire persona is wrapped up in the Bat, where it was just like for Christian Bale it was like, well, I'm usually Batman, so no, I'm Bruce, and I'm gonna wink at the camera.
So one thing I did notice is the difference between these latter movies that we got in both Nolan and the Snyderverse. Batman has been Batman for, obviously in the Nolan we saw his beginning, but we also saw like him after being Batman for, like a long time past.
Christopher Nolan was mentioned, so if y'all are drinking, you have to take a drink.
All right,
with pleasure.
That's a fun game.
No, I'd be drunk by the end of the night. No, thank you. I've worked tomorrow.
Now, here's the thing. So if y'all are new to what the show, there are some rules. If you're drinking alcohol, and if you're not, there are drinking game rules. Someone mentions working in a movie theater or Batman, or Christopher Nolan. Sorry, or Christopher Nolan. You have to take a drink every time we stop the stream. You can be water. It can be water, but
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking. I'm drinking water too. It's a little late on a weekday. But these later films, like, they look at Bruce Wayne having been Batman for a while now, especially the Snyder stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been like 20 years. So I think
like a Robin has died already.
Yeah.
The wrong Robin, but let's
camera.
not get started. The wrong Robin, but let's not get started on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, multiple Robins have died, but yeah.
Well, no, he confirmed that it was Dick Grayson. That automatically like took me out of it. I'm like, why?
That's a weird choice to kill Dick, because he's
it's pointless. Like,
I
would make it Dick Grayson.
I would even say in the comics, Dick Grayson, like, he may be my favorite Batman. I'm not sure yet.
Very arguable. That's a good argument.
If I were to go like weird choices, I would say Aziel.
I liked him too.
Yeah.
If I were to go weird, like non.
And I really like the look too. Like, he had such a great look.
The 90s were fucking insane.
Yeah.
So our artists just were like, make it spikier.
Yeah, it was almost like this sort of throwback thing where, like, he actually looks like a knight, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a really, really cool look. And I like that it wasn't like, that wasn't supposed to be Bruce Wayne, the definitive Batman. That was a Batman, you know, sort of like taking up the mantle in his place. And so it was so much more palatable that way. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, like, it's just, I like Batman the Maniac, as I mentioned earlier. And you don't find a bigger maniac than when we had Aziel as fucking.
That's true.
Like, that was shit.
He slowly loses it, and it's fun to read.
It's kind of like when like when, say, you manage a business and you take PTO, and they send in a part-time person to run your business while you're away, and you come back and they pissed off every customer. That's what happened.
Except that no one told you that this temp was also raised by a cult.
Yeah.
No, you just find that out
Yeah.
accidentally.
By the way,
Accidentally. This cult leader was running your store for 3 days, and we pay them $10 an hour.
I was looking at your diploma. What is this Order of Saint Dumas? Well, it's a long story.
and by the way, all your employees are now paying us instead of us paying them, and they've cut off contact with their families and friends.
And we murdered people. Like we did all of the murders. Like, we know you thought about murder, so we took the liberty of just doing all the murders for you.
There you
Like,
go.
What does that mean? Like people can't die if they've already been killed.
yeah. And that's basically that chapter. But there was a redemption arc, and it was so well done. Oh,
So if we're gonna talk about favorite Batman, I'm gonna cheat right here, and I'm just gonna say Terry McGinnis.
Oh,
okay. Yes.
that's not cheating. That's
That's
perfect
not
answer.
cheating.
Okay, everybody, right now, you have 5 seconds apiece. We're going to start with you, Matt, and then we're going to go from Matt to Danny to David to Juice to me. You have 5 seconds. Who do you cast as Terry McGinnis?
Without a doubt. Oh shit!
1.
Dang.
Pass.
Yeah.
David. Or, sorry, Danny. 5.
Oh man, I suck at casting.
2. 1. Pass. David. 5.
I guess Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's
Okay, he's 35, but it's cool.
He looks 12.
You put an answer out, so you have a point.
At least I actually gave an answer.
Yeah. I need, like, it'd be fair if you said like 30 seconds, 5 seconds. It's like,
De-age, just if we're going teenager, but
3,
Ryan Reynolds.
1. And I will say Timothy Chalamet.
Oh,
see,
there you go.
Timothy Chalamet. That was
I
the
couldn't
right
do
answer.
Timmy. I
That
couldn't
was
do
the right
Timmy.
answer.
I can't do Timothy Chalamet.
I don't know any actors that are under
But
25.
it's like what if Terry McGinnis
Besides-
smokes cigarettes? That's what I need.
I was going through in my head. I was like, well, McGinnis doesn't have to be a white dude.
Oh,
So I can
that's
try
a
to
good
cast
point.
some, like,
That's true.
especially so far into. I mean, not so far into the future, but in the future.
You could argue he should be partly of Asian descent. That could be
Yeah,
argued.
that could be it.
Okay.
And that's what I was trying to look for an actor, but that's how
That's why I was like,
that's how
that's
little
where I-
representation
that's
is
why-
in
no,
Hollywood.
same. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
I need an Asian actor. I mean, if he was a couple years younger, Henry Golding would be a good choice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If I were to say that, what's the guy who played Liu Kang?
Rudy Lin. No,
Rudy
thank
Lin.
you. Rudy can't act his way out of a box.
Oh, but that'd be one Jack Terry.
But Ludi is also nearly 40 years old, so there's that.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't know that?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I'm
looking it up right now.
he was like 30 when Power Rangers came out.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
He's 33 years old. How the fuck is this guy 33?
So if I'm gonna take the Asian thing out of it, fuck, what's his name? can see
I do
his
have an
face.
answer now. Because
Okay, so we're going.
Oh, go to him.
What's his?
I kind of want Anthony Ramos, the dude from In the Heights,
Anthony would be a good choice.
because why not? Like
sure.
a
Yeah.
dude like that would live in Gotham, like
yeah.
for sure. Especially future messed up, fucked up Gotham.
Here we go. Nick Robinson from Jurassic World and Love, Simon.
Okay.
Yeah.
See that. I could have seen like a younger Logan Lerman back in the day.
Logan never got a fair shot, man.
I just don't know enough young actors.
Yeah, I literally had to look up actors under around 25 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
If
like,
you get like
because we're at that age now. We're like when we were younger. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
like, oh, that guy's
Yeah,
near our
right.
age, and then I was
Now
like,
it's like,
wait, I gotta think of younger people. This is
I'm-
harder.
Now Ryan Reynolds, an old man like me.
I know, but Nick Robinson,
Yeah.
I think he has the right look, and I don't know if any of you watched the FX series last year, A Teacher. He's just, I like him in Love, Simon also, but he's just an overall great actor, and I just love him.
so there's this Netflix series about this teen into young adult guy who
Ryan Payne just brought up a good one. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, me too. I googled his age just to see where we
Ryan Potter,
were.
I think it is. Ryan Potter. I'm gonna check.
Oh, I think I was thinking
yeah.
Ryan Payne's Joe Taslim, but Taslim is also 40 now.
Ryan Potter. Yep, that is Beast Boy from.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yep.
My issue with him is he's like 5'8" and like barely in real life.
Keir Gilchrist.
Oh, Keir Gilchrist from Atypical. He'd be a great
Yeah.
choice. My thing is, he just doesn't have the superhero look to him. He just looks like a geek.
Yeah, and well, that's why it worked for Batman Beyond. He's like a good.
He's
28. He's 28.
You need him to bulk up though. Like he's atypical. He's literally just like skin and bones.
I mean, Terry
But
was
he's also
pretty
the front man.
slim, you know?
Yeah.
He was a very slim Batman.
to begin with. Like
Yeah, to begin with.
He did get bulkier.
every season he looked bulkier.
Um,
And I remember.
Yeah, I guess it
eventually
depends on like,
like-
you know, like when it's going to take place. If it's going to be the first movie, then obviously he's going to be slim.
Yeah.
But if you want to like, you know, do a later interpretation
you just
short.
get 42-year-old Will Friedle. Is Will Friedle 42? I don't know.
I
that
think he
for a
is.
fact.
I'll check him right here.
If I got that, I just guessed. How old is Will Friedle?
44, just 2 years off.
Shit! Damn it!
About to be 45 in August.
Will Friedle is almost 45 years old.
Here, you want to know how you get Will Friedle involved? Hold on. Just
I think Lego has a good recommendation in the chat. Ross Butler.
Ooh.
I cannot do Ross Butler. No, thank you.
Okay, but like it's Mary Fuck Kill with Ross Butler, Logan Lerman, and the guy from Atypical. Who do you choose? MFK.
I just met all these dudes today.
Right.
It feels like a big commitment.
No,
to do
no,
anything.
no. That's just for Matt.
Oh, okay.
No, I am not answering this.
All right.
No, thank you. Not answering.
Welcome to What the Show.
Okay.
We ask
Here.
the questions.
So here, this is who you get. This is how you get Will Friedle involved. You haven't played Derek Powers,
Okay.
just because
Derek Powers?
Blight.
That's the corporate bad dude, right?
Yep, the one who's powers Wayne's.
Oh, like
the one who
Radiant.
the
Radioactive man.
Oh, okay.
the character's name is Blight, but yeah, that's how you get to have Will Friedle have his.
Sorry,
Finally.
guys. I have to go for a second.
So is that your cue?
Is it because Mike came in? I hope not.
Probably.
Probably.
Is there beef?
He has that effect on people.
They beefing?
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
What's
we
up,
need to
Mike?
have
Where's the beef?
the number of guests must outnumber the host this one, so I got to leave.
I mean, that's not out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Wonder.
All right. Well,
Mike,
It
Mike could
was
do
on-
Mike could do Terry McGinnis.
Mike may
He's
look
got
like
the
he's
look.
20. Mike
Oh,
may
yeah.
look like he's
Oh, yeah.
25, but we all know that it is much.
I'm gonna
You can
crusty
pull
old
it.
fart.
he pulled it off. For sure.
I'm like when you talked about the other day, you're like, "Yeah, my 20-year reunion was coming up." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
All
It's
right.
been over
Well-
20 years now.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't understand any of the last about 5 minutes of this entire show.
We've
So I
been
was-
waiting. We've been waiting for your Terry McGinnis, dude. Come on.
Oh yeah. Well, and I still don't even have a second actor or like a second performance.
Yeah,
I went through the
Juice.
cast of every movie, and nobody like stands
this,
out.
This is Juice the entire time.
No, Juice, I'm not gonna ask you to watch all of Batman Beyond because that's insane.
Yeah.
No,
Just
it's
watch
not.
the opening.
Well,
Well,
watch all of Batman
I've
Beyond.
seen-
It's not insane.
just
That's-
watch
there's
the
only
opening.
40 some on. There's only 40 some on.
Yeah, I've
episodes.
seen the first. I've seen it many
There's,
years ago, but
there's 3 seasons and only 40 some on episodes.
yeah,
The
I've
opening
seen a
is
lot of it.
52. There's 52, and it's all on HBO Max right now. Go ahead. And watch
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah.
Drop the code. Drop
There
the discount code on the chat.
Yeah. Sponsored by Manscaped.
And
Yeah.
be sure to watch Space Jam
Probably-
2 next Friday.
We're like the only ones not sponsored by
Yeah.
Manscaped, I feel like.
I think
Yeah.
everybody in this actor show space is the only one not sponsored by Manscaped.
So, Mike, everyone else got a chance to answer. Who's your favorite Batman?
Well, for me, like, favorite and best are two different things with Batman World because
Yep.
for me, the 1989 Batman is my That's my Batman. Michael Keaton.
Mine too.
Yeah, that's my Batman. I understand, in a lot of ways there are better Batman movies and stuff, but that's my Batman. So that's my answer. Michael Keaton in '89. That was just, especially when I saw it. I vividly remember seeing that in theaters, and just that whole experience is something that as a kid was just when you saw that. So
Fair.
Yeah. And
That was like the most Batman thing that had come out for Batman since the original comics, I guess. Aside from the Frank Miller stuff.
yeah, I mean, essentially,
Tim Burton got it. Tim Burton
You know-
understood the assignment.
Oh yeah.
I grew up obviously with the reruns of the 60s show, and also had Super Friends. So that was basically at that point in my life, I wasn't old enough to really read the Frank Miller stuff.
So the reason why
So-
Joker sucked is because Zazie Beetz was wasted as some sort of throwaway foil for a Special Boys story instead of being one of the best possible
Joker did
Poison
suck.
Ivy castings of all time.
Joker
She
did
could have
suck.
been the best Poison Ivy of all time, and that's the entire reason.
So Joker. No, that's not the entire reason. Joker just sucked overall.
I actually really like the movie. I just wanted to
I
comment on.
did not. I hate that
I
movie.
love
I've seen it twice, and I hate
It's-
it the second time.
It's
I love the movie and never want to watch it again.
it's good. It's not great. It's good.
I mean, it was
Performance-
it was basically just a ripoff of Taxi Driver.
It's a
Um,
mediocre
it was
film held
fine,
up by a
but
great performance.
But to all those people that have never seen Taxi Driver or all those movies,
Keen comedy.
they were like, "Whoa, what the fuck? You can make movies like this?"
But that's
I'm sure.
before.
I'm sure it did inspire a lot of younger.
I just
especially,
wanted to come in with a hot take on Zazie Beetz' fucking Poison Ivy, and all you guys got all defensive.
I was just agreeing that the movie sucked.
I was going to say that movie has a fire score. The soundtrack for
The
Joker.
score is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've read the original script. That is not the movie that we got.
Oh,
Was it closer to The Hangover?
Man, I really gotta learn. I really gotta learn how to read. Man,
not
No,
at the
so-
table,
I'm missing
Joker.
out.
So here's the
Great
thing.
stuff.
My father is part of the Broadcast Film Critics Association. So around award season, they send all these scripts and whatnot. From a couple years ago, I have this, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Okay.
I have Peanut Butter Falcon somewhere around here.
Love that
Just
movie.
look, just all these scripts, and they sent Joker the year that came out. That my best friend Nick, he's co-founder of Watt. He's a big Joker guy, so we gifted that to him for Christmas, and we read that, and it's nothing like that. Nothing like the movie. So
Okay. So what are some differences? Are there things that you like more and things that you like less?
you're asking me to try to remember details from something I read over a year ago.
Yeah. Because you mentioned they're so different. Like some key differences that you really like or don't like.
Shit, I'm trying to remember, because when you don't like something, you just try to remove it from your memory.
Yeah, I have a couple relationships like that.
No,
and
you
we
have to
don't talk
keep it.
about it.
You have to keep it when you don't like it, so you remember why you don't like it and never do it again.
Yeah, no.
Batman is the best, says Rob Fishbeck.
Well,
But could he
that's
win
what I
a
was-
fight? Okay. Let's do who can Batman win or lose in a fight against? Like fictional characters. Let's do this.
And no one can use the words prep time in their argument.
Okay, but if I had one that I was going to propose with prep time, Ash Ketchum and Batman both have prep time.
Gee, that's a tough one.
You know who
make
would
that joke,
fuck up the
please.
prep time? Ash Ketchum.
I'm done.
Uh-oh.
This is the first time
So-
we've had somebody just quit.
So Batman throws a batarang and then Ash throws a Zubat.
That
Super
dude that's
Sonic.
getting decapitated.
No, supersonic. Like
We
it
don't.
depends. It depends on IVs.
It depends on how quick it's getting out of that ball. If it's just getting out, that head's gone.
I want the version where Batman has 24 hours to catch Pokemon to battle.
Oh, real quick, this is Batman related. Anyone see that Space Jam clip from the other day where they arrive in DC?
There's
So
so many.
they put a clip out the other day. I've seen the movie, so this isn't a spoiler. But because the
Not a
clip,
spoiler for you. You've seen it.
well, they put the clip out there for everyone to see. So this is why it's not. They go to the DC world, and LeBron's just like, man, I can't wait. We're the DC world. Everyone here is a superhero. I can't wait to see who I become. And you just see the Batmobile, and it's Bugs Bunny's version of the Batmobile. And LeBron's like, I'm freaking Robin.
That checks out.
I'm like, damn.
I mean,
Hey,
that's it's kind of what
kiss the rings.
it's
Don't
kind
even-
of what Warner Brothers
And
does
then-
to characters who are not a photo negative of myself. So
If Joker then shows up and beats him with a crowbar, I'm gonna love that movie.
oh fuck.
No.
You
I'm
get,
just
you get
kidding.
the 3D animated
Yeah.
Joker, and it's voiced by Mark
So-
Hamill, and he just
so-
reeks shit.
Fun thing for DC World, they based it off of Bruce Timm's animation, which
Oh,
broke
perfect.
my It made me shed a tear of happiness as a '90s kid.
Nice.
I thought of something the other day that I wanted to bring up to the chat to all of you. So you all know all of the on-screen Jokers. You all know who played everybody. Which one of them would win a game of Jenga?
Well, it's obviously not fucking Heath Ledger or it's not Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix because they both got the shakes.
Yeah, I'm going Cesar Romero. I think.
No, I think
he could.
He'd get some patience
no.
on
So
it.
here, it's not Heath Ledger because he'd be like, "Fuck the system" and just hit it all down.
Sometimes that's who wins.
Yeah, I don't
Really,
think you
at the
guys
end.
are gonna like the answer, but the answer is Jared Leto.
I was actually gonna, I was
Right?
gonna say that. I agree with you.
He's like the only one
about
that's
him.
not insane to not lose a Jenga.
Well,
no,
he's the
I
only
would,
one,
I would argue Jack Napier's Joker could win. That's who
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
pick because
He would shoot.
he's literally the most sane Joker out of any of the ones we've gotten on screen.
He's
You're
Yeah,
right,
I
he
would
would
agree
shoot-
with that.
Yeah, he would kill Jared Leto and then win Jenga. That makes sense.
And who would be the first one out? Like, who would pull one brick? and
First
just
one
knock
out
it?
is definitely
Definitely Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah. He's got the shakes, homie.
Well, and, he'd be super intimidated by all the other Jokers too, and he'd just be like, eh.
And all the
He'd start
jokes-
crying,
Probably.
No, that fucking laugh. Oh,
These are brokers on a train. I can't shoot them.
it's a condition. What?
Yeah. Sorry, I like the movie. You don't, but we can still make fun of it together because that's what movie fandom is. Like,
That's what friends are for.
yeah. I make fun of shit that you like. You make fun of shit that I like. That's how we go.
You like
pretty much
Southland,
par for the
Rail.
course.
That's all that needs to be stated.
Yeah. Ooh. But, like, Justin Timberlake as the Joker would be great, though.
No, Lakeith Stanfield as the Joker would be great.
I like that. I think. Well, this is maybe a hot take. Lakeith Stanfield as L in that Death Note movie was probably the best part of that movie.
No, that's not hot take. Everyone would agree to that. That movie was garbage. He was
Okay.
a part of it.
So, Tom Ryman, Tom from Schmodown,
That'd be a
doing
fun.
L, became Tom. And that is the best Joker that I've seen on screen.
No, the best Joker I've seen on screen is Tommy Wiseau. Argue it, bro.
Oh yeah,
Argue it.
Oh,
you should be.
Have you guys
careful.
seen that? Can we get another copyright strike? Can we do this right now?
No,
Pull up the Wiseau video. I would love to
The
watch.
Wiseau is the stereo.
oh,
It's
hi,
kind
Mark
of-
Hamill.
It's kind of amazing.
It's so good.
Why
Just
so serious, Mark?
I did
So
not.
Batman.
I did not.
So,
I did not
Batman,
think
tell
him.
me about your sex life.
You are tearing me apart, Batman.
No, with the past couple of weeks, like fucking, so Batman, tell me about your sex life. It gets so dark.
That took a new meaning.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen like the Batman clip, the Pete Holmes thing? Where,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's talking to Talia al Ghul about sex.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of amazing.
I love that Pete Holmes did that again too because he's been doing Batman jokes for like years like that. It's just like, well, we got to do it.
He's great.
I just want to address quickly in the chat Ryan Payne's comment. Gotham is a show that gets better the more you watch it.
No, well, and Cameron Monaghan, it was a great Joker.
Cameron Monaghan is arguably top 3 Jokers of all time.
He has one of the
Not
best
much more
Joker
than the
laughs.
Wiseau Joker.
One of the best Joker laughs ever done on screen.
He understood. Like the beautiful thing about Cameron Monaghan is he got to play virtually every variation of Joker
Yeah.
that there's ever been.
Yeah.
And I loved it. He got to do a little bit of Nicholson's Joker, then he got to do the final Joker in the last episode.
Lord,
He got to do Joker with the face cut off. Like
Yeah.
I loved he was the saving grace of that show, and I hated that bat suit we got in the series finale.
That was
god
terrible. The fact that those writers were writing because like they were writing every season as if it was their last because it was their last like every season was the best thing that could happen to that show.
Yeah.
I would love him.
Development when they knew they were getting canceled and they just said screw
Yeah.
it. And those last few episodes of season 3, they just went bonkers, and it's the best TV they ever wrote. And then they came back and it wasn't the same. But when they knew they were done, they just said screw it. It was fantastic.
Mike,
So I'm
Mike,
all
shut
for
up. Look down. To the left. Your other left. Down to the left. Into the screen.
I love it.
There we go.
I love that all the Batman villains were around when Batman wasn't even a thing in
Yeah.
Gotham.
See, Gotham, it's not a great show, but it kept my interest for their different and new takes on the villains.
It's a character piece.
Yes, it is.
It's literally a character study of like you could do this as like an acting assignment for an acting class, and then we just did the CGI for a mid-budget TV show. Like,
Well, I love what
it's
they
good.
did with Bullock. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I thought they did him so well, and they gave him a bit more
Yes.
depth, and they gave him,
Okay,
you know, like some really like they gave him a
Everybody-
bit of comedy without making him a buffoon. Like it was
Hands
it was
up.
great.
everybody, hands up. Who played Detective Bullock in Gotham?
Donald Logan.
Donald Logue. Yep, you got
Can I
it.
put my hands down now? Why did we put our hands up?
No, keep him up.
Oh, so you can see we were not typing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
The guy from Terriers, I was gonna say.
You could say it was
Well,
from Ghost
that's
Rider.
also
You
the
could say
correct
Grounded
answer.
with Grounded with Kids or whatever it was called.
Yeah, that's the best. I mean, I like the Bullock from the Batman the Animated Series, but man, that him as Bullock was perfect.
If you want to see a movie where he's basically Bullock again, CBGB. Do you guys know what CBGB is, by the way? Like, it's a music
discotheque?
venue.
Was it a discotheque?
Mhm. Yeah, it was a music venue in New York, but it was like a punk thing. It's like
Oh, yeah.
one of the
Tiny
like where punk in
Ramones
America
venue.
started.
Yeah, it was big time Ramones venue.
It's him and Alan Rickman, and
Damn,
the
I'm
guy
in.
who played Ron Beasley. Like, they're all in it.
You can stop.
great.
I'm in. You said Alan Rickman and Donald Logan, so like, I'm
Yeah.
sold.
Dude, we should probably do a CBGB watch along at some point.
Here's a question. Okay, if Alan Rickman were still with us, he can be any age.
Mhm.
Which Batman villain should he play?
That's a great question.
Ooh.
Because you know he could do one. Like
Yeah, he
there's
can do it.
there's one out there.
Black Mask.
I don't
all of them.
argue, like, I don't want him to play a villain. I would like to see him play Alfred.
He would be a good Alfred too. Yeah, actually,
Okay.
I do
Um,
like Black Mask, but I feel like we did get a pretty good one already.
I would take
I would disagree.
Die Hard era Rickman with a shaved head going completely psycho as Victor Zsasz.
Interesting. I think I'd go with Mr. Freeze.
He'd be a good. That's a good choice. So, Danny, I'll push back on the. We got a good Black Mask. They completely did my boy dirty. That is one of my favorite Batman villains, and I'm like, and it's not Ewan McGregor's fault. It was just the way the character was written, and then you decided to kill off what could be a great continuing villain.
Yeah, that part I agree with. They shouldn't have killed him. That part I agree
But
with.
like, what if they just do? This is the story from the point of Harley's point of view, and also he's dead, but also this is Batman and it's comics, so he's not really.
You don't. You
And he's
see
sassy,
his
and
body
he's
part
even worse.
flying around.
Yeah.
There's no
Yes.
coming back.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
tough.
but it's Harley's story.
On the
And
Alan,
that's how Harley told it.
the Alan Rickman question, real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Alan Rickman
Sorry, I
was
just
it.
wanted to throw that in. I want him to play Dr. Landstrom, who becomes Man-Bat.
No, I will only accept Nicolas Cage or Taylor Cleek as Dr. Langstrom.
Oh, I think
Don't
that one
worry.
suggested in the chat.
No,
Backseat Zeus.
I got
That's
that
a good
wrong.
idea.
I got that wrong. I only will accept Taylor Cleek as Scarecrow.
Maxi Zeus would be interesting.
Well, I mean, I'm just imagining like the over-the-top Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
He's like, "I strike thee down with bolts of justice." You know,
For some reason, it's still a German accent. For some reason,
still trying.
And that's the Victor Zsasz that I want.
Can we just put Hans Gruber into Batman? Like, I want to
Yes.
see that.
On Zaz.
Oh.
he keeps throwing over the building, but then he's got to save him at the end.
Well,
like
yeah.
every time.
Why don't we just remake Die Hard with Batman instead of John McClane? But like, he has no shoes and no utility belt.
Yeah, like he doesn't have the
Juice.
suit or anything.
Juice,
Yeah.
you just had the idea
And
that would make
no-
you a $1 billion Hollywood producer because everybody's done Die Hard, but it's this. Nobody's ever fucking done Die Hard, but it's Batman. It's the easiest fucking idea in the entire history of movie writing.
I feel like that'd be
It'd be the lowest budget Batman movie ever.
It's just a short. It's like a 15-minute short. He just goes through the building really quickly.
How is nobody ever thought of Die Hard, but it's Batman?
That is an amazing idea.
Yeah, you don't even need to. Yeah, it'd be like the exact same villains, everything. Just you just have to have a couple things to obviously cripple Batman so that he's obviously.
Oh,
doesn't
he
blow
even
through
shows up in a
5 minutes.
limo because that's how Bruce Wayne rides.
Argyle is
We can keep
Argyle
Argyle.
is essentially just young Alfred.
Holy
It's like
Or he's,
Argyle's Alfred's like grandson.
Oh, he's Lucius Fox. They're going to,
yeah.
whatever. to the Christmas party, Bruce Wayne would be invited to Nakatomi Plaza. I feel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you do this shit with like the Vicky Vale is invited with him kind of thing, and they're like broken up. Like you could
He's like
really
trying to
do
rekindle
Die
his
Hard, but it's
relationship with her.
Batman. You could really do this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
could
You do a
do
lot
it.
with that, yeah.
I gotta get back with the usual suspects so I can pitch that to Ethan Irwin.
Well, and it's cool too because it's like
Trade me for Jacob
he's
Whittaker.
pretending to be Batman on the radio, but he doesn't have the suit, and
Yeah.
so like everyone's like looking for the guy dressed as a bat, but he's not there, and so they have to go through Vicky Vale to figure out like who he is,
I like this.
and maybe like someone actually discovers like the real identity, and so like what do you do? Do I kill them? Ethical quandary.
Instead of the ho ho ho, now I have a
Whoa,
machine
whoa, whoa.
gun thing.
So,
It's just like a batarang and like a ho ho ho,
th-
and
thing-
like
things you learn by reading this forward. Apparently, Patrick Stewart was originally supposed to be Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin.
holy
What?
shit!
That would have been really cool.
What a different movie.
Excuse me.
Literally, I'm reading this right now. Given that I had no interest in Batman and Robin when it was announced, this was especially true when I learned that they had cast Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze solely for marketing reasons, no doubt. The insults added to injury were learning that the role had originally been planned to be for Patrick Stewart and that the script had been completely rewritten to accommodate Arnie's one-liners, which had been added by his personal screenwriter. When I eventually saw the first trailer, it was confirmed. I would not be seeing this in theater or anywhere.
I am learning a
no.
lot. I didn't know Arnold had a personal
Yo,
screenwriter.
I told you, there's a lot of tidbits in that.
Well,
forward.
and there's all of the dark stuff about like the wife and her sickness, and like they do all of that after they make Schwarzenegger the most ridiculous human being. So that's amazing.
We could have gotten Heart of Ice with Patrick Stewart, and instead we got, chillax for a minute, folks, or whatever Arnie said.
Dude.
Thank you.
Poor
Thank
party.
you.
Good buddy.
I just it was like what was it like? What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Yeah.
Sage.
Put your favorite
your
Arnie
hands up.
quote on the
Me
chat.
too.
please.
No, you're supposed to say freeze.
Arnie quotes in the chat.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
that.
and of course, like the best cold one-liner actually comes from Frozone and The Incredibles.
Real quick, I want to ask you guys thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on the supposed Joel Schumacher cut of Batman Forever?
I don't care.
I don't care either.
Give me it. I'll watch any cut of any movie. Fuck it, let's go. What?
So I'm curious, why don't you guys
7 hour
care?
cut of the room.
I'll watch it. I'll enjoy it. I'll check it out.
Yeah,
But it's not going to replace. It's not going to be like, well, the studio did this and this and this to Joel Schumacher's original vision. It's the same thing with the Snyder Cut. I liked it more. I thought it was much better, but you know what? At the end of the day,
Well,
Thank you.
I say
thank
this.
you, studio.
I say this because one of the biggest complaints about Batman Forever, even though I think it's a very underrated Batman film, is that a lot of people feel like it's focused more on the villains than Batman himself.
Like Batman.
Yeah, and
All
well,
4 of those movies are.
I
mean,
yeah, and see that's the thing.
I don't think that's accurate. I'm not sure that's like a really valid complaint because there's a lot about that movie about Batman's backstory and Bruce Wayne's backstory.
Here's the
falling
thing.
into the cave.
So
It's
here-
huge.
Okay, so here's
It's like the
thing.
driving plot of the movie.
Can I finish real quick? Here's the
Sure.
thing. There are people who have seen that cut who talk about how Joel Schumacher delves even further into his mindset and all this. There's footage of that deleted scene of him being face to face with that bat and just things like that. And that's partly why I'm like, give me that cut. I wasn't one of the people screaming, give me the Snyder cut. But for someone who actually does care about Batman Forever, I'm like, no, I want to see this cut because if he really does explore the Bruce Wayne mindset even more than the little tidbits we got, because apparently it's like blown open what he did compared to what we got in the film.
Well, and
So
they did
that's
great
why.
things there, but I don't know how much work really went into it, because and now here's my thing that's a deflector to it was like they didn't like they just kept the line with Val Kilmer lisping on circus. Tell me, Dr. Chase, do you like the circus? That's my one piece of evidence to say maybe no.
I think it's hard. It's hard when you cast Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones in your movie to not focus on them.
Both
And
being
they,
cartoon
like, have
characters
a-
of that.
Like,
When-
and like with them in your movie, how are you going to take the Bruce Wayne story seriously? Which is why
Especially-
no one
yeah.
took it seriously, back then.
Especially when
And-
your foil is Val Kilmer. If it would have been Michael Keaton, he might have stood a chance.
Not with Schumacher's direction though. They were going in too far of a different direction. They were trying to make it more like kid accessible. Like that was the whole point. And maybe that wasn't exactly what Schumacher had in mind, but the studio made that clear from minute one. Certainly, I mean, the entire presentation in the movie just oozes with like this kid friendly vibe that Burton steered away from.
But at least Keaton was a comedian, right? He had done stuff like Mr. Mom and stuff before, so I think he could have played.
It's a great movie, by the way.
I think he could have played more. Like he could have made the pivot more than whatever Val Kilmer. He's fine, I think.
So you want my?
Well, I mean, it would have been more
better than
jarring
Clooney.
though. It would have been more
take.
jarring because he'd already established the serious Batman, and he'd done it through 2 movies, and then to make that change, it probably was better to switch actors at that point. Because how can it's just there's too much of a contrast there, I think.
So here,
Hot take: if you don't get fucking Affleck back for a Batman Beyond thing as Bruce,
it's Keaton.
You get-
it's
No.
Keaton. It's gonna be Keaton.
well, probably because he's also amazing, but you get actual George Clooney actually acting and doing Batman.
Clooney can stay the fuck away from DC. For God's sake,
And
I
that's what
never
most
need to see
people
that
think.
man in another.
That's why this is a hot take. I think that Clooney is a great actor. He had his worst moments in those movies, and Batman had its worst movies with moments with him. But
George
I
Clooney
think
is
he-
very good at playing himself.
Yes.
He's got
Yes.
0 range though. That's the thing, and he's
And-
It's like Will Smith has just switched to playing himself in movies.
Will Smith, not a whole lot of range there. I mean, he's got a good range
No,
of
he-
emotions,
he-
but not a good
well,
range of
he-
character.
He has a good range of character. He just decided I'm going to collect paychecks from now on.
But Clooney is himself. He's a bored millionaire who just wants to pass on the torch. That's a great Batman Beyond. Bruce.
I feel like that would work as a comedy. I think that would work beautifully as a comedy.
So
No, he can do dark moments. I mean, we've all
So-
seen Polaris, right?
no.
Oh, yeah.
Well, fuck off.
I don't
I'm
think
just
so.
saying I haven't. I'm going to be honest.
Or Midnight Sky was it? Is it no?
Midnight Sky's
Yeah,
great.
Midnight
That
Sky,
guy's
I think.
decent. But he was also directing that, so he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. So here I pulled this up. Variety has confirmed with the source close to the movie that Schumacher did assemble a longer cut of Batman Forever, about 170 minutes. That was indeed much darker in nature. This version opens up with a sequence involving the villain Two-Face escaping from Arkham Asylum and features extended scenes with the Riddler when he invades the Batcave, and even scenes where he uses his signature cane as a weapon. The bulk of this version's runtime focuses on the emotional and psychological.
Wait. We're going to rewind that. Let's talk about the villains and the intros.
So it was only Two-Face's intro. His intro was him escaping Arkham.
Do we get a Drew Barrymore origin story in that movie? Because I want that.
I don't know, but
Pulling a green tube out of her breasts.
But we also get to see. But I think AJ is more so focusing on the fact we get to see the Riddler use the cane as a weapon.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
But
but the bulk of the version's runtime focuses on the emotional and psychological issues that led Bruce Wayne to decide to become Batman, including a sequence of Wayne facing down a giant human-sized bat.
Oh,
And-
that's what Zack Snyder watched that cut, and then he gave us that scene in Batman v Superman.
Yeah, just like how what's his name ripped off Scarecrow from the script.
Yeah,
It's fine, I guess.
I mean, we have streaming services. Throw it on there.
People have been screaming for it to be released on HBO Max.
I mean, like I'd
I
watch
mean,
it, but I'm not
wait.
convinced it would be
You
good.
said people have been screaming. Tell me one person who has screamed.
So the screaming well, not me.
Like, literally.
I didn't get on this. I didn't get on this train until.
I want you to tell me people who literally screamed for it as literally as fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger was Iceman.
So here, when I say screaming for it, I mean when Joel Schumacher died, people were all over Twitter saying they wanted this cut released because
remember.
it's true.
Yeah,
I do
And
remember
it's
this actually. Now that you say it, with that perspective, that's
I had missed the whole thing.
Yeah, when Schumacher died, because this has been a story for over a decade.
Yeah.
And then Schumacher dying is what really started to push this to the forefront again.
And it's after he has to say. That's the worst part for me. You know?
Well, because he had even said, been on record in the past saying he wants his cut released, and because it happened when he died, and they had announced the Snyder cut, people are like, "Well, what's the difference between just taking time to finishing that?"
I mean, like the one thing I worry about with stuff like that is just opening the floodgates. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, how many cuts are there of Blade Runner? You know, I mean, some people would like it. I think for the most part, though, it's just gonna confuse people. Movie buffs like us, you know, that's another story. But you know, the average audience, it's going to be so confusing. They're all going to be watching different versions of the movies, and it's just
I disagree. It's no different than us getting director's cuts as we have been for years.
Even director's cuts confuse people.
Hold on,
they do.
Here's also the other difference. It's not like this is an ongoing film series anymore. That section of the Batman film series is done.
Listen, if my mom wants to watch Halloween, she looks at Halloween and she might end up with 2018, 1978, or fucking 2000. What is it?
18?
5, I think.
9. The zombie
one.
Rob Zombie was
no, it's 2007.
2000. Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. I want more movies
school.
named Halloween.
So,
I want more movies just named Halloween.
That's the same concept. It's like you can confuse fans in retrospect.
But
like,
at
this is the new one.
At the same time,
they did the old one 2 years ago.
No, at the same time, most Batman films have just completely different titles. You have Batman Forever. Well, so far, I mean, The Batman is the closest we've gotten to the same title. But you've had Batman Forever, Batman Returns, Batman and Robin, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Batman.
Yes.
It's not going to be as confusing to say Batman Forever.
966, or it's like the Batman Begins. Is that the first
Well, I guess
one?
technically 66 is Batman, the movie. 89 is just Batman, and then coming up is The Batman. So they are different titles,
technically.
But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't hurt to just say, like, you want to know how they differentiated Zack Snyder's Justice League from Justice League? It's literally called Zack Snyder's Justice League. You can call it Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever.
That's why he made it in 4:3, so people weren't confused. That way, you know what you're watching.
Well, actually, that's a good point. You know right away. It's like, wait a minute, this is a 4 by. This is the wrong aspect ratio.
And then you have an old TV. You're still confused. I'm gonna make it in black and white. And yes, I have watched both versions of that movie.
Why does Drew Barrymore look 22? Wait,
Drew Barrymore hasn't aged. She hasn't aged much. I think she looks pretty similar.
I'm not gonna lie. When I got my critics copy of Snyder Cut, I was like, "This fucker really did put it in 4:3." My God,
I love it. It plays perfectly on an iPad Pro.
You want to know what's fucked up? Like, the movie was originally shot that way too. It's not like
Yeah.
it was just he cut it
Yeah,
down. No,
he wasn't being a
that's how it was-
douchebag. That's
Right.
just what
how
he
it was
did.
shot.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
how it was
just
shot.
what he did.
And you know what? I appreciate it more because at least he didn't sexualize women like Joss Whedon did by focusing shots on Gal Gadot's ass.
Well, and he
But-
still
but-
sexualized women. That's a large part of his career.
But
But
she
he didn't do it
thirsty.
as bad.
In
But
the Snyder.
Lois Lane be thirsty.
Yo, I'm just glad WB told him no, you can't do that storyline you wanted to do
Yeah.
with Lois and Clark. Thank you, WB. I did not need to see Lois impregnated by Clark or by Bruce Wayne. No thank you.
I kind of want it.
Ooh.
Like,
I went to the exhibit here because they have it in Dallas where you can read all the panels and stuff. It's fucking insane, but it's cool because it's got Jim Lee art all over the place.
so, I mean, I think we might close down a bit soon, but what has
Man,
you
we're not
guys?
even we haven't even gotten started. What the fuck are you talking about?
I might dip out and let y'all go.
This is a
But,
marathon.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, which should just be the name of an album.
Batman and Robin.
But
should be the name of the show.
Not shark repellent bat spray. That's gonna be my next band name.
I like it.
that's the name of that's
I like it a
that's a band name. It's not the name of a song or an album. That's a great band name. But Burt Ward's Legendary Genitals. That's
Yeah, no, the
something
name
we
of the
haven't-
song is gonna be Shark Punch.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Well, somebody should do like a parody of like Dr. Strangelove or I stopped learning to worry about the bomb or whatever with like Doctor something, and some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
That's so funny. Like, actually, Em and I next week on Set the Scene, we're going to be reviewing Doctor Strangelove.
Oh, right.
Wait, what? When does that air?
Nice segue.
That's going to be. It's normally we go on Tuesday nights, but we had a scheduling conflict. So next week is going to be next Thursday, 6 p.m. EST. And on my Twitch channel, World's Best Pants, twitch.tv/World's Best Pants, spelled exactly how it is right here. All
So-
one word, pants with a Z. And we're going to be doing a review, like kind of like, well, not a review, it's more, we were just going to kind of ruminate on Doctor Strangelove.
Can I come?
Well, who said that? Hold on.
AJ.
We haven't even talked about guests. I suppose it's possible, but
Can
we
I
need to like.
please?
He
You
said
have to do a
please.
Southland Tales with AJ.
What if I do Joker makeup and I just show up to do Doctor Strangelove? Like, I will do Joker makeup. I've made
have
made
to-
him leave the stream so many times.
You have to bring a paper mache bomb.
I will
AJ.
be organized.
There you go. There it is.
I would do that.
Look at
But
that.
AJ, I did not leave the stream because of you. I was leaving because I was standing up and grabbing something.
my dick.
Something you can't show on camera.
No.
Sometimes you got to readjust. Oh, snap.
Sometimes you get rid
Oh,
of my
cool.
dick.
That's pretty cool.
This is what I said I would put on, but I'm not going to because it's too fucking hot.
Yeah.
Save it for the sequel next time, baby.
No. Unless the sequel is in late fall, early winter. Never.
All
I
right.
get it.
What do we have next week? Asking.
We don't have
I
shit.
don't.
next
Yeah, I
week.
don't think we.
I believe I got to confirm with our guest, but I'm pretty certain I have a guest locked down. We haven't picked a topic though, but as anybody who watches this show knows, half the time we don't have a topic, or we just advertise something and don't even bother with it. So watch Loki episode 3.
Sometimes things like this happen.
Not this one.
And-
They got all the Batman they could have. They could have asked for.
Yeah,
We got
we
sunglasses
didn't really talk about
Batman.
Conroy that much.
We got
That's another one we
scrawny
didn't look-
Batman. We got fat Batman with a hat. We got Hispanic Batman. We got
Batman and hockey pads.
Batman. We got worldwide Franceman, and that's how you don't get canceled.
Hockey pads.
Hey. We learned about Batman that could have been too with Nick Cage.
As the Scarecrow, right?
Yes, as the Scarecrow.
But you know what would be better than Batman in Die Hard? Batman in Super Mario Bros.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes. Now we're
Yeah,
talking.
not really. Batman, maybe Double Dragon. That would be cool.
Punching Goombas.
I don't know, Batman versus Dennis Hopper just sounds awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
Batman in Mortal Kombat also makes sense.
I mean,
okay.
No, I mean you do have the games.
it was kind of lame.
Well, that's only because DC couldn't have the violence of like they couldn't rip off Batman's spine.
Let me know when you do a Superman episode of this.
Oh, we'll do one.
Oh,
Or a Batman Part 2. I feel like there's a lot
This-
that we haven't covered.
So we might call our stream. But for that, we have so many amazing guests tonight. We have David Michael France. Where can we find you?
You can find me twitch.tv/worldsbestpants. All one word, pants with a Z. I would do the weekly stream Set the Scene, which is our movie rumination stuff. Me and Emily do that. And then I do speed runs, mainly of NES games. Ninja Gaiden is my main one, as well as tutorial streams and just sort of let's plays. Big ones I do are like XCOM and Resident Evil games. And
Ooh.
lots of fun.
Oh, speed runs. We need to talk RPGs, and especially if it's SNES. But we have other guests, including Mr. Matt Thomas.
You can find me anywhere on the YouTube, guesting on places like here or Smell Me the Money, but also on my channel with all my lovely guys, and that is Watt Real Entertainment, WATREEL Entertainment.
Okay, pause. So what's your guys' Streamlabs link?
Watt Real Podcasts.
/
I think that's it. Let me check.
Is it /tip?
I think so. Slash. So every Streamlab is technically /tip, but if you just type in what Watt Real Entertainment is, it shows up. That's still us. Or
So
Watt Real Podcast. Yes, you wanted to bring that up?
We have to bring this up. And we're doing this before Danny signs out. So Jeff Alterman, who we all know, for What the Show and What Real Podcast, just woke me up a couple weeks ago, donating some money to our stream, but I wasn't streaming, and y'all were. And it was Saturday night. I fell asleep Saturday night around midnight. He sends that in, and y'all are partying. Y'all are having a great time on stream. I wake the fuck up and wonder, why did Jeff send me $75?
Jeff is drunk.
And this just made me think, well, we need to have more meetings about why we need to do what and what collaboration.
What?
And hopefully,
What?
hopefully,
What?
what in the butt is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yes.
Watch the show hosted by
And Danny Martinez, I am so sorry that I put you through all that. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Next Issue Podcast. We have a YouTube channel. You can follow us at Next Issue Podcast on Twitter. And all our videos are just kind of like whatever I'm into, like I'm doing and my co-host and what we're talking about. So like there's comic reviews, trailer reactions. We go live most Sundays to talk about just dumb random shit. This month we're just doing animation stuff. So like we're doing Saturday morning cartoons, then He-Man, and then we're gonna talk about the new He-Man at the end of the month because it looks fucking rad. And if you
Yeah,
want
hit me
more
up on
He-Man now, if you want new He-Man now, go to your comic book store and pick up the new He-Man comic that's a prequel to the Netflix show. It
Nice.
bridges the gap between the Filmation cartoon and then the new Netflix stuff. It's fucking insane. Yeah, and then you can get more Batman comics too.
Oh, wow. Dude, love to everybody on this stream because you guys have given me so many avenues for things to check out and expand the things that I love. And hopefully that's the case for people in the
Finally
chat
loaded.
tonight. That's
AJ,
a
if you're
great
interested,
thing.
we got a place.
So
here.
we got Mike Deacon in the chat on screen. We got Justin the Juice. We got our guests. We got Danny Martinez, Matt Thomas, and David Michael France, who I hope we see him with all of us in different channels and on his channel specifically teaming up soon. This has been What the Show. Everybody, you have a great night. We love you.
Squeeze it easy.
We bat love you.